Alright, welcome back. So I was not going to be releasing this particular video today. I had no intention of filming this particular video. It actually was literally in the process of getting a very positive, uplifting, fun video for my wing inboard bottom skins, getting those completed and on those wings. But in the name of not sounding tone deaf, I'm not uploading that today. I'm sure most of you have seen it. If you've not seen it yet, just so you're aware, Vans released a public statement today, basically stating, and they have a whole lot more words in there and have a whole lot more info, but basically stating that they're not financially stable in the current position that they're in. Again, take a look at the article, but Kit Planes as well, in their article on it, they mentioned that there's a new interim CEO at Vans. In the video that Vans published to their YouTube channel, I'll include a link in the description. It does sound like Vans is not in a position where they can continue to move forward without immediate action. So that is what they're doing. Again, take a look at the document, but it sounds like they're going to spend the next couple months here finding out how they can proceed and how they can move forward. Honestly, there's a lot of unknowns here. None of us wanted it to get to this point. I think we all shared an equal amount of frustration with all that went on since this last year or so with laser cut parts. I could probably vouch for most builders, but we do not want Vans to become financially unstable to the point where we no longer have a kit builder to provide us with parts. So I know a lot of speculation. Everyone likes to speculate, and there's questions as to what's going to happen moving forward. Are we going to have a Vans aircraft next year? Are we going to be able to complete our RV-10 build? I can't say with 100% certainty that we can, but I do have high hopes that we can. Yeah, they're a big name. There's a lot of big players, and they're a huge force in not only the kit build community, but general aviation as a whole. Yeah, so I don't know where this will all go in the coming months, but I do hope that Vans is able to find resolution, whether that's restructuring, whether it's, gosh, if it's even resorting to, I mean, in the Vans Air Force forum, I know the laser cut part forum was shut down temporarily, which makes sense, but there's another forum that started that follows the announcement that Vans made, but David Woodward in there mentioned a couple of ways that we can possibly, or Vans could possibly get out of this, one of which was just my understanding was a general crowdsourcing, which absolutely on board. If it came down to it, I'm sure anyone else out there who has thousands of dollars tied up in these kits, and even if you're not fully tied up in the kit, just the name of Vans and keeping them afloat, I support that. I know he also mentioned creating some type of an association for Vans aircraft, which could also work, but I don't think those are going to be immediately jumped to by Vans, but there's definitely options out there that seem viable. So again, take a look at that forum post. There's some good ideas floating around. If you have any other ideas, I'm sure Vans is going to handle their own thing. They're going to be tackling this. They brought on that third-party firm. I forget the name of it, but take a look at the Kit Planes article. It mentions that firm that they're bringing in that's going to help to find a resolution here. If you have any other ideas, comment down below any ideas you have to help builders as a whole. At the end of the day, they're builders there. We're all in this together. The whole build community and Vans, we're all in this together, so we all need to find a way out of this. I was talking with Amanda about this earlier. As far as our build, and I feel like we're in a decent spot where we have stuff to keep moving forward, but we still have to think of what happens if this falls through, like what happens if we can't get a hold of kits. So none of us want to think about that and what would happen, but Amanda's here with Wyatt. What are your thoughts, your immediate thoughts? I'm kind of throwing Amanda in
what are you talking about?
Last minute here, but I want to hear your thoughts on where we're at with Vans, our build, and how do you feel as far as today's change of events as of the last hour?
I mean, I thought it was a really helpful video that they posted. I think a lot of frustration comes from just like general silence where nothing's being said or there's like no continuity in messaging. So I think that was a really nicely done video, as well as I read the whole frequently asked questions, which actually answered a lot of my questions that I would have had they not done that. So yeah, overall I think it was good. I think I walked in, you were saying, you know, it did give some perspective to the fact that it's not just some big corporation. It is a big corporation at the end of it, it's a business, but it gave some perspective, just what they're going through and what they're trying to do. So I'm optimistic, like it's gonna work out, and at the end of the day, everyone just wants to have, you know, best product, and in order to do that, they have to have the time to make sure they can, you know,
Fulfill it.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I think it's all gonna work out, but I think what we're doing right now in terms of trying to find one-off projects, in the meantime is good. Otherwise, we're just kind of sitting around waiting, and it makes me at least feel productive with the whole thing. So yeah, it's gonna work out.
Appreciate the insight. Wyatt, what do you think?
He just wants to fly an airplane.
He just wants to fly. That's all he wants, and that's all we want. Literally, that's all we want. Thanks, babe.
Yep.
We were really fortunate that a couple of weeks ago we had a very strange series of events with fans, actually, and it had to do with some mixed message communication that I received. I ended up getting an email that I think was meant for someone else. Anyways, summed up, I ended up on a phone call with someone at Vans trying just to figure out what the heck was going on, and we solved it. Basically, the communication I got was wrong, but it was just a seeking clarification type of phone call. And while I was on that phone call, I asked the employee I was talking with, I was like, hey, while I have you, would you mind going in the warehouse and grabbing my 4 laser cut parts that I need to move forward with the fuselage? And they mentioned, like, we talked a little bit there, and they mentioned, like, yeah, we'll look into it. So sure enough, a couple weeks goes by, and I was able to get a hold of my parts. Now, my understanding is right after that phone call, it was just a few days later when people started noticing that parts were going from in stock to back ordered online. So I think I just luck of the draw, it worked out for me, but I ended up getting 4 of my fuselage parts, each of the red and yellow marked parts, which brought us to where we were today. Ever since then, I was jamming because I knew, okay, we got these fuselage parts coming in, so I jammed to get the inboard and bottom wing skins done. I was cranking out that video, editing that video today. Last night, late into the evening, I was actually starting work on the fuselage. I had the parts here where I was already starting work, getting stuff moving, and I thought we were golden moving forward. And, but I'm not going to let it change things. I'm not going to just sit around and wait for the next update, because it does sound like it may be a couple of months before we know more. Because I don't think, whether it's restructuring, whether it's ends up being, like David Woodard pointed out, whether it ends up being crowdsourcing or whatever other way to pick Vans back up, get them on their feet and get them moving again, there's going to be a long delay again. And it's a huge bummer for all the builders out there who are still stuck without parts, sitting on laser cut parts, been sitting there waiting since the original announcements of whether it's needing to scrap components, waiting on parts so they can just get one more step in a chapter. It is a huge bummer, and this can keeps getting kicked down the road. But like Amanda mentioned, at least this is some communication. I think we all saw something was going to be coming. Just the total lack of communication that we saw from Vans the last couple of weeks, of not even doing basic responses to what was going on in the forums. Yeah, so I think this does explain the lack of communication that we've seen the last couple of weeks. So all we can hope for moving forward is more communication from Vans. Like Amanda said, that video today is, I think, even though it doesn't solve all of our issues, it shows that we actually potentially have more issues, but it provided all of us with exactly what we wanted up until this point, which is just communication. Hey, this is what's going on. So I think it was a great update. I hope to see more updates from them of a similar type, even if it's not the greatest news in the world. There became a period there where the longer the wait went of receiving no communication, the less and less you saw Vans as a part of the builder community, and the more you saw them as just a corporation that was, I guess, out to get you. Pitchforks were getting sharpened. People were getting angry. The lack of communication was really hard on people. And I don't think today's video is what we wanted, but the update was genuine. So I really hope Vans is able to figure this out over the next couple months here and get moving again, and we could all get back to building. But I also hope that if they are unable to do that, that they let us know, whether it's another video or another update, but let us know. There's so many builders out there I think this kind of reunited us in a way, as silly as that may seem. Yes, we had frustrating experiences throughout these last few months, but at the end of the day, we all just want to build an airplane, all just want to fly it, and be part of the builder community. So at the end of the day, I have a feeling that most people will support Vans if it comes down to crowdsourcing or creating an association, whatever. I'm sure everyone is on board if it came down to it. So I hope to see some transparency from Vans going forward. I know they won't be able to be super transparent over these next couple months, but anything is better than nothing. So that's that. Again, I'm not posting that other video. I'll probably post it Monday or after the weekend, after the weekend unfolds. I'll get that other video posted, and then we'll get back to work. Because again, we're fortunate enough to have enough parts to move forward. As far as our laser cut part situation goes, we're moving forward with those green and blue marked parts. So I have a lot of laser cut parts. I looked at that engineering report. I trust Vans Engineering when they created the RV10, and I trust the document that they put out with the fuselage, with what components they deem to be structurally significant and don't want to have laser cut. So again, we have those 4 parts that were marked that we had in our inventory. I think it was 5 total, but we only had 4 of those were laser cut. So we have those, and we'll move forward. We'll absolutely move forward. Again, I'll upload that other video sometime after the weekend. I don't want to have it tied to this weekend. I know all this news is still fresh, so we'll delay it. We'll upload it later. We'll get back to building, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Adios.